What happens when a young actor refuses to back down during a tense live television debate? A simple conversation turns into one of the most talked about moments of the day as opinions collide, emotions rise, and everyone in the studio wonders what will happen next. Make sure to subscribe to the Star Talks and like and comment for more talk show coverage. Whoopi Goldberg. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest has built an incredible career at a young age. Please welcome Finn Wolfhard. The audience applauds as Finn walks out, smiles, waves, and takes his seat. Finn Wolfhard, thank you for having me. Whoopi Goldberg. It's good to have you here. You've been busy with acting, music, and directing. That's a lot for anybody, let alone someone your age. Finn Wolfhard. I like staying creative. It keeps me excited. Whoopi Goldberg. Well, creativity is one thing. But lately, celebrities seem to think they have to comment on every topic imaginable. Do you ever feel pressure to speak about things outside your work? Finn pauses for a moment. Finn Wolfhard. Sometimes. But I also think people ask questions, and if you're asked respectfully, it's okay to answer honestly. Whoopi nods slowly. Whoopi Goldberg. Fair enough. But don't you think audiences are getting tired of celebrities acting like experts? A few audience members clap. Finn smiles politely. Finn Wolfhard. I don't think anyone should pretend to be an expert. I definitely don't. I can only speak from my own experiences. Whoopi Goldberg. That's a careful answer. Finn laughs. Finn Wolfhard. It's an honest one. The audience laughs with him. Whoopi Goldberg. Let me ask this another way. There are people who feel younger celebrities spend too much time online responding to criticism instead of focusing on their craft. Finn leans forward slightly. Finn Wolfhard. Social media can definitely become a distraction. I think that's true for everyone, not just actors. Whoopi Goldberg. Yet you're active enough to know what's being said. Finn Wolfhard. Sure. I see things. But seeing something doesn't mean I have to let it define my day. The audience applauds lightly. Whoopi Goldberg. Some people would say your generation is too sensitive. A few audience members murmur. Finn smiles, keeping his composure. Finn Wolfhard. I've heard that a lot. Whoopi Goldberg. And? Finn Wolfhard. I think every generation says that about the next one. The audience laughs. Whoopi Goldberg. You're saying we've all been doing this forever? Finn Wolfhard. Pretty much. Audience applause grows louder. Whoopi smiles but quickly follows up. Whoopi Goldberg. But there's also criticism that younger entertainers expect praise just for showing up. Finn nods thoughtfully. Finn Wolfhard. Constructive criticism is part of the job. I've received plenty of it. The difference is whether it's meant to help someone improve or just tear them down. The audience applauds again. Whoopi Goldberg. So where do you draw that line? Finn Wolfhard. Intent matters. Respect matters. Whoopi Goldberg. Some people say if you're famous, respect comes second. Finn Wolfhard. I don't think becoming well-known means you stop being human. The audience responds with louder applause. Whoopi waits for the room to quiet. Whoopi Goldberg. Interesting answer. Finn Wolfhard. I think conversations work better when both sides assume the other person is acting in good faith. Whoopi Goldberg. Unless they aren't. The audience laughs. Finn laughs too. Finn Wolfhard. Then you figure that out together. Whoopi Goldberg. You're very diplomatic. Finn Wolfhard. I try. Whoopi looks toward the audience. Whoopi Goldberg. Let's stir things up just a little. The audience laughs louder. Whoopi Goldberg. You've talked about criticism before. If someone publicly says your generation lacks resilience, what goes through your mind? Finn takes a breath. Finn Wolfhard. I'd wonder why they believe that. I'd rather have a conversation than immediately argue. Whoopi Goldberg. But sometimes conversations become arguments. Finn Wolfhard. Sometimes they do. Whoopi Goldberg. And if that happened here? The audience reacts with curious laughter. Finn smiles. Finn Wolfhard. I'd still try to listen. Whoopi Goldberg. Even if you strongly disagreed? Finn Wolfhard. Especially then. A few audience members clap before the applause spreads across the studio. Whoopi watches him for a second. Whoopi Goldberg. You know, that's not the answer I expected. Finn Wolfhard. People usually expect younger guests to get defensive. Whoopi Goldberg. Wouldn't you? Finn Wolfhard. Not really. Defensiveness doesn't solve much. Whoopi raises an eyebrow. Whoopi Goldberg. So let me challenge you. The audience quiets immediately. Whoopi Goldberg. Do you think your generation sometimes mistakes disagreement for disrespect? A few audience members nod while others remain silent. Finn pauses longer than before. Finn Wolfhard. I think that can happen. But I also think older generations sometimes mistake being heard for being challenged. A noticeable reaction moves through the audience. Whoopi leans back. Whoopi Goldberg. That's an interesting distinction. Finn Wolfhard. If someone says, I see it differently, that doesn't automatically mean they're attacking you. Whoopi Goldberg. Unless they are. Finn smiles. Finn Wolfhard. Then it becomes obvious pretty quickly. The audience laughs. Whoopi chuckles before turning serious again. Whoopi Goldberg. So if someone older criticized your perspective because of your age, what would you say? Finn doesn't hesitate this time. Finn Wolfhard. I'd say experience deserves respect, but age alone doesn't automatically make someone right. The audience lets out a loud mix of applause and surprised reactions. Whoopi studies him carefully. Whoopi Goldberg. That's a bold statement. Finn Wolfhard. I don't think it's bold. I think it's fair. The applause continues as Whoopi prepares her next question, the atmosphere in the studio becoming noticeably more intense. Whoopi waited for the applause to settle before speaking again. Whoopi Goldberg. Fair enough. Let me ask you something that comes up a lot these days. Do you think younger celebrities sometimes dismiss criticism too quickly? Finn Wolfhard nodded. Finn Wolfhard. Sometimes, yes. And I think older generations can dismiss younger perspectives too quickly, too. A few audience members applauded while others remained quiet. Whoopi Goldberg. So you're saying both sides are guilty? Finn Wolfhard. I'm saying it's usually more complicated than people make it sound. Whoopi smiled slightly. Whoopi Goldberg. Complicated doesn't always make good television. The audience laughed. Finn Wolfhard. That's probably true. Whoopi Goldberg. But we're here to have real conversations. Finn Wolfhard. Exactly. Whoopi leaned forward. Whoopi Goldberg. Here's where I disagree. I think people today spend too much time worrying about how they're perceived. Finn considered the point. Finn Wolfhard. There's definitely pressure. Social media amplifies everything. Every mistake feels permanent. Whoopi Goldberg. Life has always had consequences. Finn Wolfhard. Absolutely. But millions of strangers commenting on your life 24 hours a day is relatively new. The audience responded with a round of applause. Whoopi nodded. Whoopi Goldberg. That's fair. Finn smiled. Finn Wolfhard. I don't think anyone's asking for sympathy. Just a little perspective. One audience member clapped loudly, followed by several others. Whoopi Goldberg. Perspective goes both ways. Finn Wolfhard. I agree. Whoopi paused. Whoopi Goldberg. Do you ever think actors your age rely too much on public approval? Finn laughed softly. Finn Wolfhard. I think every actor likes approval. The audience laughed. Finn Wolfhard. The challenge is not depending on it. Whoopi Goldberg. That's easier said than done. Finn Wolfhard. Definitely. Whoopi crossed her arms. Whoopi Goldberg. When I started, criticism came from newspapers or television. Now it comes instantly. Finn Wolfhard. Which means you don't really get time to process before people expect a response. Whoopi Goldberg. Do you think celebrities should respond less? Finn thought for a moment. Finn Wolfhard. Probably. Sometimes silence is healthier. The audience applauded. Whoopi smiled. Whoopi Goldberg. Now that's advice I wasn't expecting. Finn laughed. Finn Wolfhard. I'm still figuring it out myself. Whoopi turned slightly toward the audience. Whoopi Goldberg. People often assume younger performers have all the answers. Finn shook his head. Finn Wolfhard. I definitely don't. Whoopi Goldberg. Then why do so many speak with certainty? Finn answered calmly. Finn Wolfhard. Sometimes confidence gets rewarded more than honesty. The audience reacted with thoughtful murmurs. Whoopi looked impressed. Whoopi Goldberg. That's an interesting observation. Finn Wolfhard. I'd rather admit when I don't know something. Whoopi Goldberg. Not everyone in entertainment does. Laughter filled the studio. Finn smiled politely. Finn Wolfhard. That's probably true. Whoopi's expression became more serious. Whoopi Goldberg. Let's make this personal. The audience quieted. Whoopi Goldberg. You've received criticism online. Some of it has been harsh. How do you keep from letting it define you? Finn looked down briefly before answering. Finn Wolfhard. By remembering that strangers don't know my whole life. A wave of applause spread through the audience. Finn continued. Finn Wolfhard. Constructive criticism is valuable. Personal attacks aren't. Whoopi Goldberg. Some would argue public figures have to accept both. Finn nodded. Finn Wolfhard. Accept that they'll happen? Sure. Believe them? That's different. Whoopi paused for a second. Whoopi Goldberg. That's where we may disagree. Finn looked at her. Finn Wolfhard. How so? Whoopi Goldberg. Sometimes criticism feels unfair because it contains a little truth. The audience reacted with scattered applause. Finn didn't interrupt. Whoopi continued. Whoopi Goldberg. If everyone tells you something, eventually you have to examine it. Finn nodded thoughtfully. Finn Wolfhard. I agree with examining it. Whoopi Goldberg. But? Finn Wolfhard. But I don't think popularity determines accuracy. A louder audience reaction followed. Whoopi raised an eyebrow. Whoopi Goldberg. Explain. Finn Wolfhard. History is full of moments where the majority was wrong. The audience applauded again. Whoopi smiled. Whoopi Goldberg. You're making this difficult. Finn laughed. Finn Wolfhard. I'm just answering honestly. Whoopi laughed with him. Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I appreciate? Finn Wolfhard. What's that? Whoopi Goldberg. You're not raising your voice. Finn smiled. Finn Wolfhard. Neither are you. The audience laughed. Whoopi Goldberg. Not yet. That earned an even bigger laugh. Whoopi leaned in once more. Whoopi Goldberg. Here's my final question before the break. The audience settled. Whoopi Goldberg. If someone from another generation says, young people need to stop talking and start listening, what's your response? Finn looked directly at her. Finn Wolfhard. I'd say listening is important. But listening doesn't mean staying silent forever. The audience applauded. Finn continued. Finn Wolfhard. Real conversations only work when everyone has a chance to speak. Whoopi nodded slowly. Whoopi Goldberg. And what if those conversations become uncomfortable? Finn answered without hesitation. Finn Wolfhard. Then maybe they're conversations worth having. The audience erupted into one of the loudest applause breaks of the interview. Whoopi looked toward the camera with a thoughtful smile. Whoopi Goldberg. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion because I have a feeling we're only getting started. The audience continued applauding as the cameras pulled away and the hosts exchanged quiet smiles before the broadcast cut to commercial. As the show returned from the commercial break, the audience welcomed everyone back with applause. The mood was noticeably different. The discussion had become more thoughtful, and everyone in the studio sensed that the next few minutes would be the most challenging part of the conversation. Whoopi Goldberg, welcome back. We've been having a lively discussion with Finn Wolfhard, and during the break, our audience was still talking about what was said. The audience laughed. Whoopi Goldberg. That's usually a sign we're doing something right. Finn Wolfhard smiled. Finn Wolfhard. Or that we're making everyone uncomfortable. The audience laughed again. Whoopi Goldberg. Sometimes that's the point. Finn nodded. Finn Wolfhard. As long as people are listening. Whoopi leaned forward. Whoopi Goldberg. Earlier you said that listening shouldn't mean staying silent. I want to challenge that a little more. Finn Wolfhard. Okay. Whoopi Goldberg. There are moments when younger public figures respond immediately to criticism, sometimes within minutes. Do you think that's helping conversations or making them worse? Finn paused before answering. Finn Wolfhard. I think reacting instantly usually makes things worse. Whoopi Goldberg. So you'd encourage people to wait? Finn Wolfhard. Most of the time, yes. The audience applauded. Whoopi Goldberg. That's interesting because people often assume younger celebrities want to answer everything immediately. Finn laughed. Finn Wolfhard. Trust me, I've learned that not every comment deserves a response. Whoopi smiled. Whoopi Goldberg. That's wisdom. Finn Wolfhard. That's experience. The audience laughed. Whoopi nodded. Whoopi Goldberg. Experience isn't just about age. Finn Wolfhard. Exactly. There was a brief pause before Whoopi continued. Whoopi Goldberg. Then let me ask you something more direct. The audience became quiet. Whoopi Goldberg. Do you think older generations misunderstand yours? Finn thought carefully. Finn Wolfhard. Sometimes. Whoopi Goldberg. Why? Finn Wolfhard. Because every generation grows up in a different world. The challenges change. Whoopi Goldberg. But human nature doesn't. Finn nodded. Finn Wolfhard. No. People are still people. Whoopi Goldberg. Then why does every generation believe it's different? Finn smiled. Finn Wolfhard. Because every generation experiences change for the first time. Several audience members applauded. Whoopi looked impressed. Whoopi Goldberg. That's a thoughtful answer. Finn Wolfhard. I don't think anyone wakes up wanting conflict. Whoopi Goldberg. Yet conflict gets attention. Finn Wolfhard. Unfortunately. Whoopi looked toward the audience. Whoopi Goldberg. You know what concerns me? The audience waited. Whoopi Goldberg. We've reached a point where people expect disagreements to become personal. Finn nodded slowly. Finn Wolfhard. I agree. Whoopi Goldberg. Why do you think that is? Finn answered calmly. Finn Wolfhard. Because outrage spreads faster than understanding. The audience applauded loudly. Whoopi smiled. Whoopi Goldberg. Now that's a quote people will remember. Finn laughed. Finn Wolfhard. Hopefully they remember the whole conversation. Whoopi laughed with him. Whoopi Goldberg. Fair point. She became serious again. Whoopi Goldberg. Let me push back one more time. Finn Wolfhard. Go ahead. Whoopi Goldberg. Some viewers will hear you today and say you're being too careful. Finn nodded. Finn Wolfhard. Maybe. Whoopi Goldberg. What would you say to them? Finn leaned slightly toward the table. Finn Wolfhard. I'd say being respectful isn't the same as avoiding disagreement. A wave of applause filled the studio. Whoopi Goldberg. Can you disagree strongly without making it personal? Finn answered immediately. Finn Wolfhard. You have to. Whoopi Goldberg. Why? Finn Wolfhard. Because once it becomes personal, people stop listening. The audience applauded again. Whoopi folded her hands. Whoopi Goldberg. So let me give you a hypothetical. Finn Wolfhard. Okay. Whoopi Goldberg. Imagine someone says, young actors don't understand the real world. Finn smiled politely. Finn Wolfhard. I'd probably ask them what they mean before arguing. Whoopi Goldberg. You wouldn't fire back? Finn laughed. Finn Wolfhard. Not without understanding what they're actually saying. Whoopi smiled. Whoopi Goldberg. You're frustratingly reasonable. The audience laughed. Finn Wolfhard. I'll take that as a compliment. Whoopi nodded. Whoopi Goldberg. It is. She paused before asking one final question. Whoopi Goldberg. Do you think people spend too much time trying to win debates? Finn answered without hesitation. Finn Wolfhard. Absolutely. Whoopi Goldberg. And what should they try to win instead? Finn looked around the studio for a moment. Finn Wolfhard. Understanding. The audience responded with one of the biggest applause breaks of the interview. Whoopi waited until the applause faded. Whoopi Goldberg. Even though we've challenged each other today, I appreciate that you've answered every question directly. Finn smiled. Finn Wolfhard. I appreciate being asked them. Whoopi extended her hand across the table. Whoopi Goldberg. That's how conversations should work. Finn shook her hand as the audience applauded warmly. Whoopi turned toward the camera. Whoopi Goldberg, stay with us. After the break, we'll read some audience questions and wrap up our conversation with Finn. The audience continued applauding as the cameras faded toward the commercial break, leaving viewers wondering how the discussion would conclude. The show returned from its final commercial break as the audience applauded once more. The atmosphere had settled, but the discussion was still on everyone's mind. Whoopi Goldberg, welcome back. Before we wrap up, we've asked our audience to submit a few questions during the break. Finn Wolfhard smiled. Finn Wolfhard. That sounds dangerous. The audience laughed. Whoopi Goldberg. Don't worry. We picked a few thoughtful ones. She glanced at the card in her hand. Whoopi Goldberg. The first question says, can people strongly disagree without assuming the other person is a bad person? Finn answered almost immediately. Finn Wolfhard. I hope so. If we lose that ability, conversations become impossible. The audience applauded. Whoopi nodded. Whoopi Goldberg. I agree with that. She looked at another question. Whoopi Goldberg. Here's one more. What's one thing you've learned from today's conversation? Finn paused for a moment. Finn Wolfhard. That listening doesn't mean agreeing. It means giving someone the chance to explain themselves before deciding what you think. The audience responded with warm applause. Whoopi smiled. Whoopi Goldberg. That's a good answer. Finn looked back at her. Finn Wolfhard. And I was reminded that challenging questions aren't necessarily unfair questions. Whoopi nodded appreciatively. Whoopi Goldberg. Exactly. One of the co-hosts joined the conversation. Co-host: I think what stood out today is that neither of you tried to talk over the other. Another co-host agreed. Co-host: People expect debates to become shouting matches. This stayed respectful even when there were disagreements. The audience applauded again. Whoopi turned toward Finn. Whoopi Goldberg: If viewers take one thing away from this discussion, what do you hope it is? Finn thought carefully. Finn Wolfhard: That it's okay to disagree respectfully. You don't have to win every conversation. Sometimes understanding each other is enough. A long round of applause filled the studio. Whoopi smiled. Whoopi Goldberg: I can get behind that. She faced the audience. Whoopi Goldberg: Thank you for joining us today. The audience stood for a brief standing ovation as Finn waved and thanked everyone before leaving the table. As the credits rolled, clips from the discussion quickly began circulating online. Viewers shared short moments from the interview across social media, with many commenting on the respectful tone of the conversation despite the differing viewpoints. Some posts praised Finn for staying calm under pressure. Others complimented Whoopi for asking direct questions without turning the discussion into a personal argument. Many viewers said the exchange showed that difficult conversations could remain civil even when people disagreed. Entertainment commentators discussed the interview throughout the day, noting that the most memorable moments weren't dramatic outbursts, but the thoughtful back and forth between the host and guest. Online discussions reflected a wide range of opinions, with some agreeing more with Finn's perspective and others siding with Whoopi's questions. Even so, many viewers appreciated that both participants listened before responding. Later that evening, short highlights from the interview continued trending as fans debated their favorite exchanges. Comments praised the conversation for remaining respectful instead of becoming a shouting match. As the fictional episode came to a close, the message was clear. Disagreements don't have to end relationships, and asking difficult questions doesn't have to create hostility. Thank you for watching the Star Talks. Now we want to hear from you. Did you agree more with Finn's perspective with Whoopi's questions? Or did you find value in both sides of the discussion? Share your opinion in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the Star Talks for more talk show stories and discussions.